Put it in the class. All right, guys, welcome to our Monday sales training call here at the Impact Agency. You guys are in for a treat. I'm doing this off of my iPad, so the view is a little bit different because I'm traveling, but you're still going to get a lot out of this training call today. I've got sitting on my left someone that's becoming a good friend of mine. We just met. I was scrolling through my phone. You know, like if you've been dating somebody, you're like, when did I first start talking to them? And so it was back, I think February 10th is when we first started talking to each other. And Cameron came on board. And the reason why I want to have him introduce himself to you guys real quick. But one of the things that Cameron is doing and has done is be consistent. Consistent with the basics of our business and what it takes to be successful. And 4 weeks in, the fruits are finally starting to show up. And the other thing that he's been is positive, right? Grateful, right? Just general things that anybody can do, which helps you in business. And you could go a long way with those things. So before we even jump into all that, Cameron, just kind of introduce yourself to everybody. Give them a little bit of your background real quick.
Yeah, well, I'm Cameron. Good afternoon, everybody. Thankful today to be here. I just firstly want to, first and foremost, give praise and glory to my God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Awesome.
Without him, I'm just simply not here. I grew up in a military family. My dad was Army. So I grew up with a lot of structure, a lot of discipline.
We can tell.
And I'm kind of like a third generation military, so nice. So I've kind of carried on that legacy. Awesome. I was active duty with the Air Force, finished up in Virginia, and then decided to come to Florida. And I have my beautiful future wife here, Sarah. She lives in Orlando, and we both landed some opportunities there. And one door opened the next door. Kept walking by faith and not by sight because went through some tough times. Transitioning out of the military has been very stressful, but this blessing of God has just come through my brother Jermaine and brother like Gio and all my, my new friends here and partners in business. So I'm thankful and blessed to be here.
Awesome, man. That's good stuff. Yeah. We're blessed to have you. Yeah. Let me ask you this. How did you find Family First Life, first of all?
Actually, I won't believe this, but it's a text from Desiree, and give it up for Desiree because she's Actually, y'all can think Desiree is up here because I'm just here by God's blessing and grace because she reached out to me via phone and text. And she actually left me a text, said, how would you like to become an agent and make 110% comp? And it was just something like that real quick. And I'm just like, huh? So I'm working at the time at First Command. So that's a different place I'm working. So I'm I kind of put it to the side and I said, but you know what? I'm going to save this text message. I'm not going to delete it because I want to hold on to it, just in case for some reason, I said, I don't want to delete it. So I held on to that text message. And then lo and behold, later on, as I went forward in the other organization I was at, I started to see that I was hitting a ceiling. I wasn't really able to move forward and progress and excel the way I wanted to. And training wasn't quite up to par and just a lot of different things I was dealing with. And the environment was getting, I won't go all into it, but it just wasn't an environment where I was growing the way I wanted to. I wasn't achieving what I wanted to achieve for my family and I didn't see myself being set up for success.
Makes sense.
So I reached out to Desiree and said, hey, is this opportunity still on the table? And yeah, watch this video. I saw Jermaine's video, and I mean, the rest is history. After I saw that, I just saw how he was breaking down FFL and how everything works. And I just said, wow, this is amazing. So
that's awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm glad you saved that text. Thanks, Desiree. All right. So, getting started with us, a lot of agents struggle. One, concept of leads, concept of, putting the right schedule in place. Mm-hmm. How did you approach those things? What was your first thought process when you saw how we approach leads? And then how did you approach even your schedule? What was that like?
For me, I just wanted to come in with an open mind. I wanted to come in knowing that I didn't know a lot and that I wanted to just say, hey, whatever the guys that are doing it, the guys that have seen success, I want to take what they're doing and be able to implement that. So let me not think I know how to do it. Let me not try to do it my way. but let me really just open my mind, and whatever insight instruction is given, let me just take that and apply it. So
Okay.
that's
Good.
That was kind of my approach.
And then when it comes to the schedule specifically, did you have to have a conversation with your significant other? And how did you look at this? Is it like, hey, yep, I'm going all in, doing this full time. Let me put everything else on the side, or what was that approach like?
Yeah, it was a conversation. I kind of just sat down with Sarah and got to talk to her, and we just got to really just have a heart to heart.
Yeah.
And I just explained to her that this is an opportunity that's on the table. This is, something that I believe could potentially open a door for us to have better opportunities in life as a family. And so that's really what it was. It was just a conversation. Just sitting down and just talking with her. She was on board. And once I knew she was on board and she wanted to support me and give me that encouragement, I knew that, I could move forward.
Makes
Because
sense.
she's such an important person in my life. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
And the reason I asked that question too, whether it's a significant other, a family member, or a cat, a dog, whatever it may be, you got to have those conversations with the people that are in your life so they know. Because one of the things I just shared in the training session is like, doing this business, you're a business owner. That doesn't mean you work less. In most cases, you work more. Can you agree that you probably worked more in the last couple of weeks than you've worked before? But we're very transparent about that, guys. Like, this is not the business where you think, hey, I'm gonna work 4 hours a day, 1 day a week, and I'm gonna be successful. It's not. And if somebody told you that, I apologize. They lied to you. And we want to tell you the truth here. The good thing though is that, depending on how hard you work, in the beginning, and as you're setting yourself up, you won't have to. You can scale back, and then you'll be better, so you can work more efficiently. But initially, if you're brand new to this, you're gonna have to put in some work, some hours, and we want to make sure everybody understands that, because we don't want to mislead you or have you be confused when you're not seeing results for the work that you don't put in. If that makes sense. No, it's the truth. It's true. 100%. So. And that's one of the things I like about you, Cameron, because, you're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort. I just confirmed this with him, but to my knowledge, he has not missed a dial day being on Zoom since he's gotten in. And how many of us can say the same thing, right? That are new to this business, being so plugged in. And, we wonder why, you're starting to see some success. So let's start there. I think, say again? At 7:30, right? So let's start there. So you've been here your first 2 weeks. There were no sales, right? You weren't able to protect any families. It was kind of like getting your feet wet. What was that like? Did you think, you'd be more successful out the gate, or did you just kind of had an open mind, whatever is whatever, or did you kind of had hopes of being able to get that first policy right away?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I started with that fire inside of me that, hey, I want to get in to make this work. And I knew it wouldn't be instant success, but I wanted to come out the gates running.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember us kind of having that conversation. I said, hey, Jermaine, I really just want to hit the ground running, man. I'm waiting on these writing numbers. So, no, it wasn't instant success. I got hit in the mouth a couple of times, got punched in the chest, got the wind knocked out of me a couple of times. And it was just, I had to get used to it. I had to get into a groove and really begin to find my element in the training. I had to take what Jermaine, what everybody else, all you guys were showing me, and I had to put that into my own personality and make that for Cameron. And that was difficult. So I didn't see a lot the first 2 weeks, honestly. But I told myself, I'm gonna get out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out there. And I had my first appointment, I think, ran about 3 or 4 hours. We were sitting there just talking, and I was, calling the hotline and hanging up and calling the hotline again. Hang up. Okay, we call the hotline again. Hey, Jermaine, I got another question. It definitely wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I told myself I'm gonna hold on and keep fighting, and I have a lot to learn.
Yeah, and you kept plugging in, and that's crucial, guys, in this business and life. If you're not willing to give up, you're gonna win. And as long as you're correcting, making adjustments, right? Now, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're not seeing results, then that's insanity. You want to make changes. But he was calling, he was, hey, this is what I'm getting. He was on the live dials. This is what I'm saying. Okay, that's what they say. That's different. And constantly looking at what he can improve to be better. And then it started to pop about 3 weeks in. And I think, so you've been with us, this is probably week 5, right?
Yeah, it's going on week 5.
Going on week 5. And so far you've helped 8 families with policies, right? Made some good money doing that so far. Invested in leads. I think you've probably spent close to 4,000. Yeah. And so whoever that is, please mute, guys. But now it's just to get the hang of it, you're able to book appointments. Hold on one second. Let me do this. Okay, I think they got it. Perfect. Always mute when you get on a conference call, guys. So now you're starting to get the hang of it. Things are starting to come together. 8 families helped. I heard you on the phone this morning, and I was driving in with Gio, and I was like, dang, man, this guy got good overnight. So I don't know if you were just practicing a lot, but like I could tell from day one to now, your confidence on the phone is better, your tonality is better, your script is better than what it was. And I think, and the reason why I wanted to have you share is it's because of how you've plugged in. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. A lot of people think we try to tell you to plug in for our sake, right? And like I tell my clients, like, if you get this policy today, my financial situation is not any different. My family is going to be taken care of no matter what, because I have a lot of clients to see. Same thing with everybody on this call and in this room. Like, if you come to this training call, my financial situation is going to be the same, because I got plenty of agents to help. But if you come to this training call and you apply yourself and you make the adjustments, you come on the Zoom, the live dials, you're going to get better, and your financial situation is going to change, which is what's happening to you right now. So, with your investment in leads, how does that make you feel? Because I know people feel different about investing in leads. So what's your thought process there? Has that changed along the way?
You want my honest answer?
100%. We don't tell anything but the truth here.
All right. It hurts sometimes. It's painful.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful to invest that much money. But I tell myself I have to invest. I have to put back in to the business. I have to do this, because if I don't sow generously, it's going to be really difficult for me to reap generously. So I know that I look at it more as, and Jermaine kind of always say this, and I hear this a lot in the business. It's an investment. It's not, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your business. You're investing for your family. It's an investment in my future. So although it hurts, I feel like the ones that hurt are the ones that, like they say, no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
I just have to have that shift. I have to change my mindset about being a business owner, and say, hey, I'm a business owner. Yeah. I know that I need to invest in my business if I want to be successful. So and also knowing that, doing it confidently and with faith, knowing that it's going to come back.
Yeah.
It's going to come back greater. Not just coming back equal, but coming back more.
Yeah.
And I've
been able to do that. And what I could tell too is you believe in yourself. And that's so crucial in this business, that you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that, hey, I'm going to make this investment. Yep. It sucks. It hurts. It's, like, I'm not used to coming from a W-2, because you've always been W-2. Have you ever had your own business before?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a military guy.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. You had the best W-2 there is. Military, man, they'll spoil you. Good. Yeah, because they take care of everything and they pay you first and the 15th, right? So yeah, absolutely. So, now getting that mindset change to, hey, I own a business now. And I think, that old phrase, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. When you realize that, hey, you're now a business, you're not just a W-2 employee, this is a business that you're operating, that allows you to do what it takes to be successful here, allows you to make the investment. And like I shared out there, you're just paying your taxes early, bro, because it's either you're going to be able to help these families that you're purchasing leads of, or they're going to be a tax write-off. So that's the way I look at it. I'm like, all right, every week I'm paying $1,000 towards my taxes. I might, it might return, but if not, this is $1,000 towards my taxes. But that's good. I'm glad. I appreciate you being honest, because that's the reality of it. A lot of people feel the same way. They might not be willing to vocalize it like you are. But then on top of being honest, you put in the work. Right. So that way now you're seeing that return on the investment. So for you, what was the most challenging part of this so far? What has been the most challenging part besides the leads? What's been the most challenging part?
Being my own boss.
Yeah.
Honestly.
In what way? Why is that?
Because I'm so used to. I'm a good airman. I'm a good soldier.
Yeah.
I know how to. I'm good at
following the orders.
I'm good at following the structure when it's set in place for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making that shift to, okay, now I'm my own sergeant.
Yeah.
Because I was
That's
a sergeant.
powerful.
I was a sergeant.
Wow. That's powerful.
I led men, and then other men that had more rank than me led me. And it was yes, sir. Yes, sir. When I told them something, it was yes, sir. We all just functioned as that unit. We provided that structure for each other.
Yeah.
Now I'm and Sarah always tells me this. She says, Cam, you got to be your own sergeant now.
That's awesome.
You have to be your own boss. And it's telling myself in the morning, hey, Cameron, get up.
Yeah.
It's time to get up. Wow. Hey, Cameron, it's time to lock in the live dials. Hey, Cameron, it's time to get out into the field. Hey, you had a no-show? Let's go door knock. You had a no-show? Let's dial more, try to get more appointments. So it's just continuously having that shift in my mind to where I'm no longer having a boss, but being my own boss.
Yeah.
That has been the toughest thing for me.
100%. Man, that's powerful. Yeah. I always say in this business, you have to be bipolar. No offense. I'm not making light of the situation. I'm sure we all have family members that we believe is on that spectrum somewhere. But and we might be ourselves, but some days I feel like it. But what I mean by that is you're the employer and the employee, and you got to be a good employer and you got to be a good employee. And that's the only way to be successful here. If you could master that, that's like, the master keys to success right there, man. So, and it's a challenge for everybody. It's a challenge because you have full control of your schedule. I mean, we've all dreamed of that. Like, man, it would be nice, when we were working W-2, it would be nice to, control my own schedule, work when I want. And then now you control your own schedule, you realize, shoot, I can't just slack off, because if I don't go out and perform for myself, I'm not going to have a paycheck at the end of the week. So that is a challenge. And the people that can master that, stick to the schedule, as the employer, set the schedule. As the employer, invest in the leads for your employee that's going to come in and dial those leads and book those appointments, and then be a good employee to yourself. Work as if you own the business, because you do.
Right. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about in-home? Well, let's start here real quick. On the phone, what was your biggest struggle on the phone? Because I know it was a little bit challenging for you initially.
Confidence, and also taking the dial script and letting it become organic, letting it become myself being a person. Although there are certain things to say and there's a way to say them, I had to figure out how to just naturally say those things in a way where I could connect with people. So that was one of the tough challenges for me, and it's something I'm still working towards, is being able to, make that connection, say what I need to say, book the appointment, get on and off the phone. And, like we say, nothing good happens on the phone.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, definitely the confidence, just getting more confident.
Makes sense. And how have you, or how are you overcoming that?
I'm staying plugged into the trainings.
Okay.
Yeah. Just constantly listening to tapes. Sometimes I'll even have
You just said tapes. You're aging yourself.
I'm constantly listening to podcasts on dials. Y'all can tell what decade I was born in.
80s baby. 80s baby. 80s baby.
I'm from 88, y'all. 34 in the house. Let's go.
Oh, man. We got young folks on here like, what's a tape? You listening to tape? I thought you were supposed to tape stuff with that. But good.
But stay locked in. Get on the live dials. Listen to the top producers. How are they talking? What are they saying? How are they taking the dial script and putting it in? And the confidence, the tonality, everything. And just continue to mimic that.
Yeah.
And practice that over and over again, and just hear the tapes playing.
Yeah, makes sense. 100%. When it comes to in-home, were you freaked out about going out to your first appointment? How were you emotionally and mentally?
I was definitely freaking out. I was overthinking a lot of stuff. I was, I remember Jermaine probably remembers I called him in the car, say, Jermaine, hitting out to my first appointment. So, so if he's this, then what does he need for this? And if he's that, then what does he need for that? And what insurance policy will work better for this situation and that? And it's just thinking about a lot of things and really overthinking a lot of stuff. So I definitely had a lot of anxiety, about it. And I just had to, get past my nerves and just jump in.
And when you went out and had those first couple of appointments, how did you feel? Did you realize, like, man, I was really overreacting?
I did. I was like, I was told this is a lot more simple than I'm making it. I realized that I'm definitely overthinking this a lot.
Absolutely.
So
what has been, I guess, one of the things you might have struggled with in the house, your first couple of weeks that caused you not to have some sales? What do you think that was looking back now?
Oh man, just taking the time to connect,
Okay.
really, and just, I forgot who says this, but he says proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something from the military.
But it really stuck with me. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. To
Mhm.
fail to prepare is to prepare to fail. And a lot of times, what we're anxious and nervous about, the anxiety that we feel, is comes back to our preparation. The more that we prepare, the more inclined we are to be successful in that moment.
Mhm.
When the pressure's on, going back to the military, we train the way that we're going to fight in the war. So when we go to the field, we literally go to training and prepare and simulate what we're going to face in the actual situation.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's a lot of that. It's watching how these top producers, people that have seen success, how did they conduct their in-home? It's taking that and kind of simulating it over and over again. It's studying. It's making myself more knowledgeable and just getting that understanding of how is this going to work. I think Jermaine, you touched on this a little bit earlier. You talked about visualization.
Yeah.
I can either think that everything's going to go wrong, and it's probably going to go wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can think that when I ask for the Social Security, they're going to freak out.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, HEW hockey sticks, no. I'm not giving you my DAM social. And I'm not right. You're not going to get my routing and checking number, or I can believe in my mind before I get there that everything's going to go smoothly. It's all going to go well. All those negative thoughts, it's taking those and saying, no, I cast those down. I'm removing those thoughts from my mind. I'm thinking it's all going to go good. It's going to go well. And kind of just taking time to see every step.
Yeah.
Because there is a process, right?
Yeah.
But we don't want to be robotical with it. But it's just being able to know what you need to do, see yourself doing it, and then go and kind of execute in that mindset that all is going to be well. It's going to go good.
Yeah. And it's funny you say in the military, you guys assimilate. Is that the word? Assimilate?
Assimilate,
the training, like, so you guys literally, not only, of course, I'm sure you did sit in the classroom and study technical stuff, but the training was in the field, like you said, right? You went out there with your gun, probably blanks, or did y'all?
No, real guns.
What?
I mean, sometimes we had the fake guns, but you have to get a feel for how it really feels. So we go
makes sense.
To the shooting range. We shoot the real
okay,
thing,
got you. All right. So, I thought y'all were practicing with real bullets and shooting each other. I'm like, what?
I mean, yeah.
But okay,
a target, of course.
A target. Yeah, okay, so you have targets. That's right, not each other. All right. See, I never did military, so I don't
It's
know.
all good. It's all good.
But the point there is that there's real assimilation. Now, with what we do, the real assimilation is like, hey, get these leads, get on the phone, let's get in the field. And you are able to learn and practice and assimilate and implement everything in person. Right. Did you find that once you got out there and you started going, some of the things that you were overthinking, some of the things that you had studied and watched on training became real, and you were able to implement them a lot better just by being in the environment?
I did.
Yeah.
Now I feel a lot more comfortable, and I'm just allowing myself to be comfortable, because I already know what I need to do, but now I just need to be calm. I need to let this person see, who I am as a person, and also, I just need to relate and let them, don't be afraid to share your testimony. Don't be afraid to share, why you do what you do. Don't be afraid to share something maybe that's painful, or maybe that's, something that you've been through. Why do you do this? Why do you wish, they tell us to find their why, but don't forget about letting somebody get an understanding of our why as well.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, definitely. But the more I get in there, I feel like the more I find myself, not overthinking it, just realizing that it really is just A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And I just have to kind of like tailor that in a way that the person understands.
Yeah.
And they can open up and then, have that connection to know that I'm really there to help them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I want to have you share your story. I had one question before that though, because a lot of times agents will ask, okay, how do I, use the quoting tool? How do I find the carrier websites and that type of stuff? How did you do that? Like, did we kind of walk you through and hold your hand as you were quoting the coverages, or how did you figure that all out?
I mean, I just, it starts with the new hire orientation. I just kind of, watch those tapes, and I watched them more than once, and that's something for me because I feel like you can watch something one time and you can catch some of it, but the more you watch it, it's like, oh, now it's starting to click more. So every time I watched those tapes and plugged into those trainings, it was like I could see something else. I'm getting more and more familiar with it. So that's kind of as far as learning how to use everything. I feel like everybody does a great job of kind of pointing us in the right direction. It's like I can show you to the water, but now it's your turn to kind of drink from the well, so to speak. That there's that well, the river is flowing, but hey, go ahead and get your cup and dip in and then just partake of that river that's running. So yeah, kept plugging into the tools.
Yeah.
It kept you know, just going on there, knowing that at the knowledge library, there's everything we need. There's a number of resources, right? So just plugging into those continuously, and trying to take, like you were saying earlier, trying to take a sense of accountability and responsibility for my own learning too. Because it's one thing to ask a question, but like you said, it's another thing to kind of search it out for yourself and to kind of, when you're told, hey, it's here, remember that it's there and go back before just going directly with a question. Hey, I looked into this, Jermaine. I remember you told me this was in the knowledge library, but hey, this is what I see, and I have a question about X, Y, and Z. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
And that's so crucial because we get those questions all day, every day.
Right.
Like everything's in the knowledge library, and that's taking that independence, because we're all independent contractors, taking that independence to go there, research what's there, and then if you have questions, ask. And we're always, you guys will see, I drop in the WhatsApp group all the time, like, hey, that's in the knowledge library in this section, and we're going to refer you back there, because you have to have that independence about you doing this business, especially if you're trying to scale the business. We can't all, myself, Gio, anyone else here that's helping out in the managerial role, we can't be the answer guy. And if you're trying to scale a business, you can't be the end all be all. You have to have that source. And, we've worked well together as a team to put that together. Desiree, Gio, a couple other agents to make sure that resource is there. So thanks for highlighting that. So I want you to candidly share, if you don't mind, kind of what you share with your clients and kind of your life insurance story and how it changed your life and caused you to be as passionate as you are about life insurance. So take a couple minutes and share that. And then guys, this is something that you can share with your clients, because we like to say stories sell. And it may not be your story. Thankfully, I don't have this story, right? But I can now borrow the story from my brother Cameron and say, hey, one of our agents, one of my colleagues, blah, 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 and share his story that you're gonna hear right now. So share that with everybody.
Yeah. So when I was 18, my father had a tragic accident and he died. He passed away tragically. And I was probably a freshman in college at the time. And I still can remember that day. I still remember what I was wearing. I was wearing a Michael Jordan Wizards jersey, actually. And I still remember the shoes I had on. I had Michael Vick shoes on, and one of my favorite blue jeans. It's crazy. I remember actually walking out the living room, looking back at my dad, saying, "Hey, Dad, I love you, man. I'll see you later." And I never saw him again. So I never saw him again. My father was. He means a lot to me. He taught me hard work. I saw him get up every day at 4:30 in the morning, work 12, plus hours a day in the military to provide for me and for my family, for my mother, my brothers, my sister, and that never leaves me. Just seeing his sacrifice, and I tell people all the time that as tragic as it was, as hard as it was to lose him, he had a life insurance policy in place. And because he had that policy in place, my brothers and I, my sister, my mom, we were able to carry forward in life without an already traumatic emotional situation being also a financial, misfortune. So, that's one thing I like to share with my clients. That's one reason why I do what I do is because I know the value of the things that my father set in place before he passed on. And without that, I don't know where I'll be today. I wouldn't have had the opportunity that I have to go to school, to go to college and get my college degree. And I wouldn't have been free to continue to grow as a person, as a man, and be able to see a lot of the opportunities that I see today in my life. So, I'm just, that the importance of that policy, words can't express. My mother not having to worry about where our next meal was coming from, or how she was going to pay the mortgage, or how she was going to pay all the bills. I mean, that was huge. So I'm just thankful for him taking that action. And life is just precious. So, and that's why I always tell people the importance of while you're well and while you're living, putting something in place to leave that legacy. And I'm just grateful that my dad left that legacy for us.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks.
So, absolutely. So, guys, I mean, that's the epitome of what we do, right? I know it's all about, hey, we're here, we have a business, we're trying to make money, but we're also making an impact, because you never know that one lead that you might have to wrangle a little bit with to get over to that house and help them. You never know when the next time you're on the phone is going to be, when somebody that's their beneficiary is going to be calling and say, hey, they're no longer here. And you have a real life example, experience, story that you can share, with your clients, just to help them understand why we're doing what we're doing. This is not just for commission check. Thankfully, we get one, by default, but this is really about life change. And now, giving him on the recruiting side, giving him an opportunity now where Desiree reached out, he's come on board, and he's able now go out and kind of pay forward that same experience that he had, where there's going to be a check for somebody, because I know you're brand new, but eventually you're going to have a death claim. I had one my first 6 months, and it just totally made this so real for me. But yeah, man, I'm super proud of you. Glad to be in business with you, like I am with everyone that's in this room and on this call right now. All 25, 27, almost 30 of you guys that's on this call. And what we do is important. And thank you for being in this environment, so that way you can learn and take things that you can implement. And most importantly, it's, showing you what it takes to be successful. I hope you were taking notes and heard some of the things that Cameron shared that he's doing, that's allowing him to now gain some traction and be able to start seeing some success. And understanding that when he started out, it wasn't like out the gate, rolling in the dough. It was really learning before he started earning. And sometimes it'll be like that. Where you learn before you earn, and sometimes you'll learn and earn. So either way, guys, if you have any questions, I'm going to just wrap it there. Wait, anything else you'd like to share that you think might be beneficial before we wrap this up?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, Jermaine, thanks again, brother, for having me. I'm really just thankful to be here today. I mean, I had so many close calls to death as well, personally.
Yeah.
So, you ever felt like God just gave you a second chance?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I could just easily not be here.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
And that's why, the passion that I have is, my passion comes from my pain.
Makes sense.
The things that God has brought me through by His grace makes me, passionate this way, because I realize, how valuable and how precious life is. My advice is don't give up, and fall in love with the activity. Fall in love with the activity. Love the activity. Be proud of yourself. Whether you go in the field and you write 10 policies, and we hope and pray for that, and we believe for that. But if you don't, and you go out in the field and you have 10 no-shows, be proud of yourself that you went out in the field. You knocked on those doors. You made that trip. You can pat yourself on the back and be proud of yourself for that. And when you get up tomorrow, guess what? Do it again. Do it again. And that's one of the greatest things that I've learned and continue to learn. I encourage everybody, fall in love with the process, stay plugged in. Just fall in love with your activity. We know what to do. The business is simple, but keep on doing it. Keep on applying it. Never give up on yourself, and don't give up on the activity, on the process to success, because it may not come right away. It may not be instant, but if you just keep on staying plugged in, keep on, doing the activity, doing what you know to do every day, just striving to get better. At some point, I just believe that there's no way that you can work hard and commit to the activity and not begin to see it break forth and not begin to see some success. So that's.
I owe this guy some money. No, that's, man, nothing else to say there. That's the key. That is the key. I know I've said there's been a few keys during this conversation, but that is so powerful. I hope you guys see that. I hope you feel that, because that's what it takes. That's all I've done over the last 5 years to get to where we are today. It's just that consistency day in, day out. And knowing that there's a Cameron out there that may need this opportunity. So I got to keep going, whether it's 10 no-shows or 10 sales. Man, that's powerful, man. I appreciate you sharing it. With that, guys, we're going to wrap. I don't want to say nothing else and mess that up. So this recording will be out on YouTube later tonight. I appreciate all of you. Let's make it a great week. This is week 4 of March. Let's finish with a bang. All right.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Cam.
Good stuff.